All right, record this cool video. Explain these problems on here. Starting with number 6. Where are you, number 6? The area of a rectangle is such and such yards, square yards. The length of it is this, which expression represents the width. So let's just look at this here, a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is equal to the length times the width. For example, if the length was 2, the width was 3, the area would be 6. Now let's say you had the area is 6. Let's say the area is 6, and you know the width is 3. To find the length, you'd have to divide the area by the width. So you have to divide 6 over 3, and that would equal 2. That's how you'd find the length for one of the sides if you knew the area and another side. So that's what we're going to have to do in this problem here. In this problem, the area is equal to 54 x to the 9th, y to the 8th. And then it says the length is, sorry, this is 3. The length is 6x to the 3rd, y to the 4th. What is the width? So the same way I did previously, to find the width, you have to divide the area by the length. So 54 x to the 9th, y to the 8th, divided by 6 x to the 3rd, the length, y to the 4th. And then, of course, we're not really used to dividing these kinds of numbers. Fortunately, we have a formula chart that we can take advantage of. What does the formula chart say? It says, so here we're going to divide, so we're going to use the quotient of powers rule. It says when you have a to the m divided by a to the n, you take the base and subtract the two exponents, m minus n, take the top exponent minus the bottom. So we will do that, apply that rule here. So first, just divide 54 by 6 with your calculator. 54 divided by 6 equals 9. So write this below, 9 x to the 9th, y to the 8th, over x to the 3rd, y to the 4th. Now let's use that rule where we subtract, the quotient rule says subtract top from bottom. So for x to the 9th minus x over x to the 3rd, we're going to subtract 9 minus 3. So for this, we're going to rewrite x to the 9th over x to the 3rd as x to the 9 minus 3. 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. So I'm going to rewrite this as x to the 6th. So now our function is 9 x to the 6th over y to the 8th over y to the 4th. We do the same thing for y to the 8th over y to the 4th. We subtract 8 minus 4, which is 4. So we'll rewrite this expression as y to the 4th. All right, and red, y to the 4th. So this should be our answer, 9x to the 6th, y to the 4th. All right, next up, number 7. Number of seats in an auditorium is modeled by f of x equals 2x squared minus 6x, where x represents the total numbers. The number of rows of seats. How many rows are there in the auditorium if it has 416 seats? Let us looky here. So I'm going to write the equation, which is what I recommend you get in the habit of doing this. F of x equals 2x squared minus 6x. And the reason why I wrote it is so I can label what things represent. So x is rows of seats.
Good afternoon, students. On the west side, we have bus 111. On the west
Rude
side, bus
interruption here.
111.
And then, all right, see you good people next time. Have a great weekend. Now f of x, that represents, it says this equation represents the total number of seats. So f of x is the total number of seats. F of x or y is the total number of seats. Now that we labeled it, this problem will make a lot more sense. So it says how many rows are there in the auditorium if it has a total of 416 seats. So this f of x is the total, so it's saying if the total seats is 416, how many, what would x be equal to give you that? And x is in rows of seats. So how many rows of seats would result in 416? So there are a few different ways we could solve this problem. So let's see, we could try to factor it, but I think the most straightforward thing to do is to graph this in the calculator and see where the graph is equal to 416. So we'll press y equals, I'll type in 2x squared minus 6x. So 2x squared minus 6x. So that's the function. I'm going to graph it. Now I want to know where it equals 416. So I'm going to do second trace or second calc value. Oh, it's an x value. That's unhelpful. Well, let's just try one of these answer choices here. I'll try 13. So x equals 13, invalid, interesting. So x can't equal 13. Try 20. Oh, bizarre. Okay. Do this the old-fashioned way. Oh, I guess we have to zoom out. Let's see. Second trace. 2. Yeah, this we have to zoom our window out. So press window.
On the north side, we have bus 206 and 201. On the north side, we have bus 206 and 201.
Let's change this to, let's just say negative 50. I'll make x negative 50, make x max positive 50.
On the north side, we have bus 200 and 100. On the north side, we have bus 200 and 100. On the west side, we have bus 111. Students, get to your buses.
That's the key point here. We'll make the maximum y 500, so we can squeeze in our 416 seats. Graph it now. Now I'll redo this. I'll plug in some of these x numbers from the question. So we'll try x equals, okay, 13. It's not going to work most likely. Okay, so when x is 13, y is 260, we need to get to 416. So I'll try answer choice B, or answer choice A. Well, we'll do it in order. We'll go to 16, which is answer choice D. Let's try x equals 16. Is this answer choice good? Yep, when x is 16, y is 416. So that's our answer D.
200, 201, 100. On the north side, but 206, 200, 201, 100.
Now I'm sure there's a faster,
on the west side, we
better
have
way to do this, but this is the way I know. So you can just do this, or you can just also plug in the numbers one by one. So you could do 2. So it's 2x squared minus 6x. So plug in. Let's say you want to try answer choice B.
101.
If you were trying answer choice B, 13, you just type in 2 times 13 squared minus 6x, so minus 6 times 13. We're plugging in 13 for x. Equals 260, so that's not it. And you would just do that for all the answer choices. And that would give you the answer. When I find the faster way to do it, I'll let you know. But for now, this still gives you the right answer. So you can just do this guess and check thing. All right, number 8. Graph of an exponential function is shown in the grid. Each dashed line is an asymptote for the graph. This is a random question. So asymptote is a line that the graph will get close to but never touch. So exponential functions where you have x as an exponent. So let me show you. For example, 2 raised to the x power. To get a power, you press this little caret button. So I'll raise 2 to the x. I'll graph it. Let's reset our zoom. So I'll press zoom standard 6. So you can see that this exponential function, it gets down close to the x-axis, close to 0. And then it just keeps going. But it doesn't actually equal 0. So a line that you approach but don't equal is an asymptote. So here on this calculator, I can show you this, or not. Yeah, it's not going to let me annotate this. But on the calculator, this graph, it gets close to y equals 0, but it doesn't actually equal 0. Meanwhile, on this graph, in question number 8, which I actually can annotate, you can see that the graph goes basically to around this blue line. So that's going to be where it gets closer and closer to the line, but doesn't actually equal it. So that would be the asymptote. And that's line number 6. Line S, H is your answer. Oh, so annoying. All right, number 9. Which situation best represents causation? So causation is when something causes something else. A, when the number of bus stops increases, the number of car sales decreases. Does it make sense? B, when the fewer firefighters report to a house fire, the damage caused by the fire decreases. That doesn't make sense. If there are less firefighters, the damage might increase. C, when ice cream sales increase, incidence of sunburn increase. That doesn't make sense. Why would more ice cream decrease sunburns? D, when it rains several inches, the water level of the lake increases. That actually makes sense. The answer choice is D here. Just common sense. What is the graph of a quadratic function shown on the grid? Which function is represented by this graph? Two main ways you could do this. You could just plug each one of these functions into the calculator and see which one matches, which is a perfectly fine way of doing it. Not a good. So you could just go one by one and plug in these numbers. See, I'll try the chance choice F. So x squared plus 3x minus 4 graph. You can see it doesn't look like the graph in this thing. So F is not it. So you can just go through and type them all in until you get the matching graph. Of course, the other way you could do it is if you notice, oh my God. This will be one of the hardest things I've done in my life. You could also notice that this graph, these equations are all in standard form. So in standard form, the number in front of the x squared, the number in front of the x squared, if it's negative or positive, that makes it either go up or down. So this graph here is going down, so that's negative.
On the west side.
The direction of this graph is saying that it must be a negative x squared, so it has to be either answer choice G or answer choice J. Oh my. So it has to be G or J, and then the C is, wow. C is a y-intercept. So here in this graph, it crosses the y-axis at 4. So you need an answer that has +4 at the end. So the only answer choice that fits that description is answer choice. Oh, never mind. G and J both fit that description. So you just have to, I'll just graph both G and J.
On the north
see which
side,
one's
we have
right.
this one.
Negative x. So answer choice G, negative x squared minus 3x plus 4. And then J is negative x squared plus 3x plus 4. Let's see which one is correct. So clearly the one that matches is the blue one, which was answer choice G. So G is your answer here. It's a good old guess and check kind of situation. You could have tried factoring it if you wanted to, but it seems to me like a waste of time, personally. Go for it if you prefer that. I'm not going to bother to show how you would factor using a snowflake, but I can if you guys would like. Last one, number 11, was a solution to 8x minus 3 parentheses 2x minus 4 equals 3 parentheses x minus 6. So 2 ways you can do it in a calculator or by hand. The calculator is easier. I'll show you. I'll type the left side on top and y1. So y1 equals 8x minus 3 parentheses 2x minus 4 parentheses. For y2, I'll type the right half, 3 parentheses x minus 6. Graph. And then you need to zoom out to see where they intersect. All right, we need to get clearly a lot bigger. Maybe make, try negative 50. We'll try ranging the x and y from negative 50 to 50. So x minimum, make the minimum x value negative 50. I went to window, by the way. Make x maximum positive 50. My God. Make the y minimum negative 50 and the y maximum positive 50. Graph. All right, still not big enough because they didn't intersect yet. So make the maximum x and y bigger. Let's make it 100. The y maximum is 100. the y maximum 100. Now I can finally see where they intersect. Press second trace, intersection, first curve in blue, press enter. Now in red, press enter. Guess, please do, press enter again. X equals 30, y equals 72. Your answer is C. Now, if you for some reason just prefer to do this by hand, this is how you do it. Get x minus 3, parentheses 2x minus 4, parentheses 3, parentheses x minus 6. Distribute the negative 3. So 8x minus 6x plus 12 equals 3x. I'm going to distribute this other one too. 3x minus 18. And then move this 12 over to the right side. So minus 12 minus 12. To get rid of this 12 on the left side. So 8x minus 6x equals 3x minus 30. As we combine negative 18 and negative 12. And then we can combine 8x minus 6x is 2x. 2x equals 3x minus 30. And then subtract 3x to get the x on the other side. So minus 3x on this side. So 2x minus 3x is negative 1x. So negative 1x equals negative 30. To solve for x, divide both sides by negative 1 to get the negative 1 away from x. So x equals negative 30 over negative 1, which is positive 30, which is the same answer. So that's how you do it by hand. And I'm out.